Hey folks, welcome back to Good Enough Customs. So, if you're noticing my surroundings, you might realize that I'm still at my folks' house, and we got Dad's 1939 Pontiac Coupe here. So, if you don't remember this one, or if you didn't see last week's video, I'll throw a link up there in the little corner. But this thing is a 1939 Pontiac Coupe, and this guy has been off the road since about 1978, and I'll save you time on the math there. That's 46 years. So we don't know if it's been fired at any time during that time period or not, but we know the car has been off the road since around 78. So it's got a 327 Chevy small block in. It's got a little 2-speed powerglide. We're gonna see if we can't make this thing run. Not because Dad's gonna leave that motor in there, he's gonna do an LS swap, but just curiosity. Why not? It's a Wednesday. I came down here for cruising the coast. I had to go yesterday to get my registration done. We're about an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours away from where all the happenings are with cruising the coast. So was out there yesterday, had a good time. Didn't film a thing, just enjoyed it. So we're going to go back out tomorrow and Friday and maybe even Saturday. So we're just kind of taking a day to kind of, okay, let's rest up a little bit. No, there's no rest. We're going to work on this whole car. So, so we're going to take the day. We're going to monkey with this car. Probably just kind of do a few things around here. We might even tear into to Dad's. Dad's got two 5.3 LSs that he picked up, you know, off of Marketplace. So maybe we'll take a look at those guys as well. But primary thing for the day is we're going to see if we can get this little 327 up and running. That way, when he does pull the motor and trans out of this car, he can sell it as, hey, it ran, or it's locked up, or whatever. We'll figure out what's going on with it. So, anyways, let me put the camera down, and let me get this hood up, and then we'll get started. All right, I got to find out if Dad's got a drop light I can borrow, but we got to get this side panel off. It looks like it's just got a singular bolt right in there, and then a bolt right in this neighborhood, yeah, right there, and then it should just lift off and we can set it over and out of the way. That way we can actually get to it. It's gonna be a little crappy having to lean over these giant fenders, but yeah, we're not pulling the whole front end of the car off. we'll pull those little panels off and we'll be all right, I suppose. So let me see if Dad's got a drop light somewhere I can borrow, and figure out where I'm gonna set my tools up, and we'll start tearing into this guy. Quick run out to Harbor Freight, and picked up some lights because Dad can't find his drop light, so I just picked up a couple of these little guys are really bright. The magnets on them are kind of crappy, but picked this guy up, and I really need a shorter bungee. But now we got some light up underneath the hood. We can actually see what we're doing. Those panels came off pretty easy. The bolt that goes here is a loose bolt with a nut on it. I was actually supposed to have two, but I think that really needs to be studded because you can't hardly get back there with a wrench to get those off. But looking a little bit further, didn't realize we don't have an oil filter. That's okay. There's two in the trunk. Already checked that fitment, and they fit. So if we get to that point, we'll deal with that. But back here in the trunk, I also noticed something that doesn't give me warm fuzzies. We have a whole mess of push rods. I didn't bring a light back here with me, but I don't see rockers, but I do see a whole bunch of push rods. So we're gonna go ahead and pull the spark plugs out, and get those juiced down, get the cylinders squirted down, let those things start sitting. And then we may go ahead and just pull valve covers just to see if we are missing push rods, because, you know, it ain't gonna run without those. So we'll probably go ahead and pull the valve covers as well, just to check that stuff out. So all right, here we go. Let's pull these plugs real quick. All right, don't know what to expect with this guy, but we will see. A little bit of crud, nothing bad. We'll take a look at the spark plugs here in just a little bit. All right, got all the plugs out. Let's throw a little juice down the cylinders. All right, the way the plugs are looking, it ain't bad. I mean, they're not like coated in rust or anything. So they look pretty good. It does look like the plugs were put in there when they painted the motor. So maybe the motor's got a fresher build on it. I don't know, but it's not bad. The lighting's not the best in here, but yeah, all these plugs look pretty good. None of them's really sooted up. They have a little bit of surface rust on them, but nothing to be really concerned with. A little brake clean and a wire brush should clean them right up. It shouldn't be a problem. So we got some Freon down in the cylinders. I know a lot of people use like PB Blaster, Marble Mister, and all that stuff. Freon is just I love that stuff. It smells good and it does a really good job. But while that's happening, I think what we're going to do is we're going to knock some of this dust off here in the valley, right there on the top of the valve covers. And we're going to at least pull one side valve cover off just to see, just to make sure we're not missing any push rods or parts or anything like that. So since we don't know anything about this motor and nobody can tell us anything about it, figure take a peek and see what we got. Well, good news is we have push rods. Other good news is that looks really good. There's not a lot of crap, stacked up here, and both sides look really good. There's even a little bit of oil kind of still hanging out up here. So all good things. I guess from here, we're just gonna let the Freon kind of soak in the cylinders for a little bit. Let those, hang out, maybe do their job just a little while. I'll probably go ahead and put the valve covers back on. So there's no need in leaving them open. And I guess, actually while the valve covers are off, I'm gonna go ahead and dump some oil, put a filter on this guy, dump some oil down through the valve train here on both sides. That way it's got some fresh oil up here, because this thing ain't got any oil floating around in it if it's as dry as it appears to be. But yeah, we'll dump a little oil on both sides, put a filter on this guy. I'll put the covers back on, and then we'll come back out here in just a little bit and see if we can't get this guy to roll over just by turning the crank, turn it over by hand, as opposed to hooking the battery up. Because in case there's something a little sticky in there, we really don't want to go throwing a battery at it and tearing up the flywheel or the flex plate. Yeah, it's a flex plate, or busting the starter, doing something like that. So yeah, let me get this stuff done, and we'll catch back up once we're ready to try to roll this guy over by hand. All right, we are at the point of trying to roll the motor over. So still got the freon in the cylinders, still got the plugs out of it. It's got a press-on crank pulley, and there's no bolt to tie to be able to turn this guy. So trying to figure out a way to turn this thing, and there's just not a lot of room in this area. So far what I've come up with, we got a piece of square tubing, got an old belt that came out of the back of the car, got another belt that came out of the back of the car around the crank pulley here. So the thought is I can keep enough pressure on this up here to make it nice and tight down there, and I can use this bar as leverage, try to work it back and forward if need be. Unfortunately, with the bar being as long and as big as it is, there's not a whole lot of swing either way. But my thought is if we get it to actually just move a little bit, we could probably pull this back off and just use a belt and run it with just a belt and like a screwdriver or something. So we're gonna give this a shot and see how it works.
Let me go up and get those vice grips.
Yeah, that ain't got enough. Yeah. The belts are they're too loose. It's flexing on too much.
Let me think. I don't think I've got anything else. I don't have another piece of pipe. How about a 2x4? Or 4x4? Just drive it out there. What? Move it?
She turned. I'm trying to pull on this, but not put too much pressure on your fenders. Yeah. Because, you know, we don't want to cave those in. But I just kept it taut and just pulled it out here and pulled it on the center.
Well, it's almost a whole.
Oh, she gonna fire.
Yep.
She gonna fire today, boys. All right. Well,
you still gotta get the rotor button.
Yes, I gotta get a rotor button. But since it's rotating pretty easy,
yeah,
I'm gonna rotate it over a few more times.
Yeah.
And try to get this freon out of the cylinders as much as I can. Then we'll throw some plugs in it. I'll go pick up a rotor button, and we'll move on from there. So I can't get over how easy that turned. I was expecting a fight. Heck yeah.
That's amazing. It being, you know, pretty much open for all those years.
Its saving grace was it stored inside for so long.
Yeah.
That is
At least it was undercover, you know, if the hood was closed, it didn't.
Yeah. Well, Dad went digging in one of his old cabinets and we found us a brand spanking new AC 710 cap. Oh wait, that's an oil cap. Anyways, I went ahead and got, we found some bolts. They're definitely not the right bolts, but we got some bolts on the, for the coil to mount up. So we can set the coil in there, still gotta wire that up. I had to run out to the parts house, pick up a new rotor. So we got a new rotor for the distributor. And I guess next step we're gonna do is get a battery, some jumper cables, get down here, get this starter wired up real quick, and just spin this motor over, try to build some oil pressure on it. And then also while we're doing that, make sure we find top dead center on number 1. So that way we can go get the plug wires put in the right order, because we don't know anything about this motor. So figure find top dead center on number 1 so that we can get the timing right, or the firing order right, and we'll be ready to go. So I guess we're gonna go lug a battery down here and get this thing hooked up and be back in just a few. All right, we're gonna roll this guy over a little bit. And I tried kicking it just a minute ago, and I had to bang on the solenoid a little bit because it didn't want to do what it needed to do. So we now have, we can now spin the motor over easy. We'll do this a little bit, build some oil pressure. It's gonna kill my battery. That's all right.
I can go get it.
Yeah, let's see if we can't find top dead center real fast. Ah, no, I got no connection. Damn it.
I'll get the starter.
Yeah, we can hook that up here in a minute. All right. So, pretty decent compression on number one. But we should be about at top dead center. Wow, they got that distributor pointed totally in the wrong way. Let's run it over again. Wow. Okay. Must have a loose wire over there. Don't make me hit you with a hammer again. Can you wiggle that? Yeah, I think it's got to be wiggled on the starter. Well, you can see the power draw as soon as you hook that thing up.
Oh yeah,
Lights
all the
flicker.
lights flicker.
Yeah, well, it's probably just swinging.
So I didn't turn it on or turn it off or anything.
That's fine. I can turn it up to 50 amps from 10.
Turn it up to boil. Oh, good God. Well, this guy's. Okay. Yeah, so our distributor's pointed in the wrong direction.
So that could be it.
How do you know it's not on the exhaust?
Because it just kicked my hand off.
Oh.
If the exhaust was open, it would have gone out the exhaust.
Oh.
So they timed it. It's pointed to this side, which I mean, it doesn't matter really. The distributor can be pointed anywhere. It's just, you know, common practice to point it at number one.
Yeah.
That's all right. We'll just set number one there.
That's fine. I think that's how it actually goes with point distributor.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm going by HEI because I don't know points for nothing. But anyways, all right. So I don't know if we got good oil pressure going or not, but she's rolled over quite a few times. It's got good compression coming on the cylinders. So I'm gonna get we're gonna get a cap. We're set to top dead, close enough to top dead on number one, so we know where it's at on the distributor. So we're gonna go ahead and start getting plug wires put on, plugs put in, plug wires put on, and cap put on. And see if we can't make this guy start talking to us. Be right back. Yeah, go ahead and put juice to it, because I should be able to flip. I should be able to flip this and see spark. Oh yeah, oh, yeah. Go ahead, pull it back off. Okay. Got plenty of good spark there. Yep. Right okay. There. So which one's number one? So this will be number one.
Yeah. You got the screwdriver. Clip it.
All right, we got everything wired up as far as we can tell. Should be correct. So I really wish I had something that poured a little easier. Put a little fuel down in the bowls. A little bit down the carburetor. And hold your horses, let's see what happens. Hook up my...
Hook up the coil.
Yep, I gotta hook up the coil. All right, well, let's see what happens. I don't think we got enough juice. Yeah, that ground, man,
Might not be.
might not be enough. Let's see.
That's right.
I think we're just too weak on the battery.
That's not good.
No, boy, no. Yeah, we just ain't got enough juice. All right, current situation. We got my brother's Jeep tied to this battery, which is tied to the starter and all that other fun stuff. And then we got another battery that is on the deep, the charger. So Dad put it on a quick charge. Hopefully it'll get some thing. We don't have enough, ain't got enough juice to spin this guy over. He's trying, but it's just, with the plugs in it, it don't want to turn over. So yeah, we're gonna leave this one hooked up to the Jeep, try to get a little charge in it. And that one, we're gonna leave it on the quick charge. Hopefully one of them, or maybe we'll link them both together and throw 24 volts at this guy and really zing it over, if they'll both take charges. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So I guess for now, we're just gonna, like I said, let these things sit and charge and hopefully get some juice in them. And then maybe we can come back and spin this guy over and get it to fire. I mean, everything looks like it's working just fine. Before I put the cap on, I don't know if I had it on video or not, but I did verify popping the points. We're getting a lot of spark right there. So I would assume we're still getting spark through everything else. So we should be all right. But one big problem that we got is the oil filters that we have don't quite fit, so the oil is just kind of leaking out whenever we turn it over. So that's nice. So once we get it running, it ain't gonna be able to stay running very long because it's gonna puke all the oil out. But hopefully we can make her fire. All right, I guess I'll check back in with y'all once we get some power. All right, well, we tried with multiple batteries, multiple jumper cables, vehicles, chargers, everything we could think of, and yeah, no dice. Still don't have enough juice to turn the motor over with the plugs in it. So we got the charger hooked up to this guy. He was our best battery, and letting him charge overnight. So come back out in the morning, see if we can't get this guy to bark off. It wants to. It's just trying to get the darn thing to spin. Like I said, we got good spark. I checked that at the contacts there for the points, and boy, she was sparking good. I did go through and fill up the bowl through the little vent. Filled up the bowl on the carburetor, and gave it a couple twists on the linkage there, and the accelerator pump's still working, which was surprising. But yeah, it's out there and just spraying out just like it should. So we got fuel, we got spark. Now all we need is the other part, air, which the only way we're gonna get the air is with the motor turning over. So All right, I guess we're gonna close her up for the night, and I'll come back down in the morning. We'll see if we can get this guy barked off and make some noise. Like I said, it won't run very long because all the oil's gonna pour out of it from that oil filter. But you know, it is what it is. We just want to see if it runs. So, so all right, we'll see y'all guys in the morning. All right, next day, we've got battery's been charging overnight. Surprisingly enough, the accelerator pump works just fine on this guy. So let's see if she do something. She's a loose connection down here.
Might be a bad starter too.
Yeah, it could be. She just ain't got it.
You think timing could be advanced a little bit too much?
Could be. But it, well, I mean, it should still at least spin it a little faster than that.
Well, that's true.
Even if the timing was off. All right, next update. I ran to O'Reilly's and picked up a battery cable and a battery. It was like, what's the cheapest battery you got? So it's not quite the cheapest, but I mean, it's a good size marine deep cycle. It's like $110, something like that. So it'll work. I've got other uses for it. I can take it home and use it somewhere for something, I'm sure. But yeah, thinking we may be losing a little too much power through the jumper cables going to the starter and all that. So picked up a little 4-foot battery cable that we can hook directly to the starter, route up underneath over here to where we'll put the new battery, and have the positive hooked up to the battery through an actual battery cable. The ground side, the negative side, no big deal there. We'll just keep using the you know, jumper cable for that. Hopefully that'll come back to bite me in the butt. But yeah, I'm thinking we're just not getting enough juice to the starter. And I think that's where we're running into the problem. So hopefully this will get her sorted out and we can get it to actually spin fast enough to do something. So I guess I'm gonna move some of this crap out of the way and get in here with the new battery cable, get the new battery set up over here, and we'll give this guy a shot, another shot. Yeah. Yeah. Press that little button for me real quick.
All right.
Stop. That's a little better. All right, so we got her to bark. This is exciting. See if we can't get her to fire before this thing totally rolls itself out of oil. Because that filter ain't fitting worth a dang. Let me see if I can fill these bowls up a little bit. Maybe we can get it to idle for a minute. Let's try her again. Hell yeah. Whew. She's stinky, but she ran. Well, it's a shame Dad's not down here right now. So he was finishing up his lunch, so I'll save another start for him once he gets down here. But yeah, she runs. She runs. All right, I'm gonna go get Dad. Be like, suck down that sandwich, old man. We gotta go. So I'll be right back. We'll see if we can't get her to fire up again, and maybe let it idle for a moment. It probably won't idle long, but maybe for a moment. All right, here we go. Pop's gonna start his car. All right. Hit her again.
You need some
We know
starting
it runs,
fluid?
it's dirty.
Yeah, there's some right behind you.
All right, ready?
A little bit of juice behind it. Yeah, yep. She sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds real good.
Wasn't missing, wasn't knocking.
No. No, that sounds real nice. All right. Sit there and idle all day long if it had a constant fuel source.
Yeah, it would.
That's a solid little motor. Well, there you have it. 327 been sitting for 46 years. Fired up. This thing sounds awesome. We would let it run a little bit longer, but the oil filter is not quite the right one, so oil is literally just pouring out from the sides. We don't want to ruin a really good sounding motor. I mean, it fires right off and doesn't have a bunch of top end noise. Everything sounds really good on this thing. Like I said earlier, when I had the valve covers off, it looked pretty good underneath there. I was just like, this thing maybe it got freshened up before they dropped it in here. I don't know. But if we had the right oil filter, maybe we could sit here and hook up a little temporary fuel system to it. This thing probably sit here and idle all day long. But yeah, she's a runner. So don't worry though, this motor ain't staying in here. Dad's going to end up putting an LS in this car. We got a couple LSs sitting back over there that we may just tear into one of them today just to kind of look and see what he got there. So maybe we'll film that, maybe we won't. But either way, there you have it. Sleeping for 46 years, up and running. Can't kill a small block, they're ridiculous. All right, folks. Well, I guess if y'all guys want to follow me on social media, that information is listed down in the description. If you want to leave a comment, question, whatever, drop me a comment if you don't mind. I do read them all. If you like the video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you made it this far, I say this every time, but if you made it this far and you're not a subscriber, what are you waiting on? Just hit the little subscribe button. Doesn't take but a second, and it don't cost nothing. All it does is help the channel grow. So anyhow, I do appreciate it. And till next time, just remember, folks, ain't got to be perfect. It's good enough. I'd say that's pretty much good enough. Y'all take it easy.